Okay, today we're going to talk about drawing profiles. It's really important that when you draw a profile of somebody's face that you have a model. Connor here has been a very good, helping, wonderful volunteer. He's going to be my model today. I can't just draw a contour face out of my imagination. It's not going to look very accurate. So when you are doing this yourselves, you're going to choose a model, and your model's going to sit and pose for you for a little while, and then after you draw your model for a bit, you'll switch and you'll take turns. You're not going to get this all done in one day. It will take more than one class period to finish. Okay, so what I'm going to ask of Connor is that if he's going to be my model, he's going to sit just like he is here, but he'd be sitting down when you guys are doing this. I'm going to move my table so that I'm right in front of him and I can look at him and I can draw, and I can look and I can draw. I'm going to do this up on the board, so it's a little harder for me, but when you're doing it, you'll be doing it right on the paper. Now, since he has kind of long hair, I'm going to ask that he pushes his hair back behind his ear a little bit so I can see that ear. That's perfect, okay? Because you have to draw at least part of the person's ear, because ears have really interesting contours. All right, if the person's hair is really long, we might want to pull it back and stick it in a rubber band or something. Okay, to get started, I think the easiest way for you guys to start drawing a contour is to start kind of up near the forehead. Now he has kind of long hair, but if we start up near the forehead and then go down the profile of the face, it's going to make it easier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cover one eye, and I will look at the angle of his forehead, and then I'm going to draw it on my paper. When you draw, you want to draw nice and big. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of sketchy, nice and light, because I'll erase later. And then I look at the angle of his nose, and I notice that this part, the bridge of our nose, is right where the eye is. It comes down, it dents in a little bit, and then comes out for where the nose is. If your person's wearing glasses, have them take their glasses off while you're doing this part. They can put them on later, and you can add that in later. So I'm seeing his contour comes in a little bit for his nose, and then I notice the angle that his nose comes out. Okay, so nose comes out. I have to look at my model more than I look at my paper and really study. I like to trace in the air so I can kind of see the nose coming back in. Okay. And then I notice when I look at the side of the face and this part of the face here, they're about equal. So wherever the forehead comes out, that's about where the mouth starts to come out, the nose starts to come out. And what happens is we have this space in between our nose and our top lip. So we make room for that. And then the lips get a little tricky. Most people, when they first do this, they draw the nose and then they draw the lips like this. And they end up looking kind of like fish lips, okay? That's not actually what happens. What happens is the part of your lip kind of joins into the top, so it just comes out a little bit, and then it comes in and back out right here in between your lips, almost like a V shape. So we go in and then back out, and his comes out a little bit flat and then down, and then we've got this area underneath the bottom lip that simply is straight. Okay, relax your lips. And then we've got the chin. He's trying not to smile. The chin comes out. I told you it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. Left side of my brain and the right side of my brain are fighting right now. Okay. Now, one thing you want to check with this is distances. The end of the nose should come out the furthest, and then the top lip should come out further than the bottom lip, and the bottom lip should come out further than the chin. So you have this step down, okay? It's subtle. It's not a huge difference. But a lot of times people will make the bottom lip stick way out, or the chin will stick way out, and it'll look off a little bit. So just make sure that that is the case. And you know, there are people that maybe their bottom lip does stick out just a teeny bit further, and that is particular to your model. But most cases, the top lip sticks out just a teeny bit further than the bottom lip further than the chin. How to finish some of the details on the face here. Well, we need a nostril. We need this part of the nose. So when I look, that comes back onto the face and around, okay? A lot of times people then, after they do that, they'll go like this. Okay, well, we need a nostril. Bloop. No, that looks very strange. The nostril's actually more of kind of a flat shape, and it comes up and down like this, okay? And real subtle. And then to finish the lips, all we need to do is extend this top line down just a bit. And then we've got top lip, I see kind of comes down here. Bottom lip simply joins up to there. There we go. All right, with eyes, you guys are used to drawing eyes from the front. How many of you have drawn the old football eye? Okay, right? Something like this. Well, when you're drawing an eye from the side, they look a lot different. They're actually more of a greater than, less than symbol. And you've got your lid, and then you've got a round eyeball in the front, okay? And then you've got your iris and your pupil. This is just a real quick sketch, but then you've got a little detail underneath. You've got a little eyelid on top. Get rid of that football. And then you'll have eyelashes that kind of come out towards the front. And then you're going to deal with eyebrow on top of that, okay? So when we put this here, I have to look at the distance between his end of his nose and where his eye actually starts. How much distance is there? A lot of people will start drawing the eye way back here. Okay, well that's not going to work. His actual eye is closer to the front of his nose. So we've got the greater than, less than symbol. Okay. Round curvature of the front of his eye. Pupil. A little bit of eyelid information. And then I notice that his eyebrow actually comes to where I'm looking at him, almost comes to the front of his face. And then comes down. I'm not going to color it in, I'm just making the shape at this point. Okay, when we're going for finishing off the shape of the head, we need to do some proportional work. The eye is actually in the middle of our head. So if you took one hand and put it on top of your head and one on your chin and then move them at the same speed, your eyes are right in the middle. Most of the time when we draw pictures, we put eyes too far up, and you'll notice that that's probably going to happen. So we got to do a little measuring. So we know that Connor's eye is in the middle of his head. Okay, I'm going to use my trusty eraser here. It's about 1 and maybe 1/3. Okay, 1 1/3 erasers from the eye to the chin. So then I got to do that from the eye to the top of the head. Well, right now, the top of the head that I have drawn is right about here. But if I go 1 and about 1/3, the top of his head actually should be up here, okay? Almost always, people will slice off the top and the back of the head. It's just a natural thing that we do. I don't know why. So, I know his head has to come up to there, and I'm not worrying too much about hair right now. His hair's long, kind of flips out. I'm not going to do a lot of work with that. I'm just going to kind of draw the overall shape. of his hair, okay? And then after I get the height of his head, then I can figure out how wide it is from the front of the nose to the back of the head. And the back of your head, the top part, is gonna stick out the most. And then it's gonna come back in towards the neck. Now, excuse me, from your chin to the top of your head, we measure that first. So we've got 1, 2, almost 3. So it's almost 3 tall from the front of the nose. 1, 2, 3. That's about where the back of the head is going to come to. Just up here at the top, not down at the bottom. So I'm going to kind of connect that so I know where the back of his head is coming, okay? Now we can
break there.
We're going to stop here.
Part 1 of 2.
Part 1 of 2, okay.